to my channel. So today is December 1st and it's really stormy where I live, so the lighting is a little off. I'm in the brightest place in my house, so I hope that you'll forgive the lighting. If you hear any noises in the back, it's probably my dog barking at the thunder or maybe my children playing a game. So today, being December 1st, kicks off Vlogmas. So I wanted to sit down really quick and film a little video. I've actually tried a couple of times and it just either didn't go well or things kept happening, you know, mom life. So I wanted to talk about the Christmas budget. It's the first day of December, and if you're a planner, you probably have all of your Christmas gifts bought. They may even be wrapped already. You probably know exactly which parties you're going to and which ones you had to decline, and you've probably made your cards and stamped them and they're ready to send out already. Maybe you've already sent them even. If you're not a planner, this video is for you. So stay tuned and let's talk about how to plan, because it's the 1st of December. Okay, so the very first thing that I want you to do is to get your phone out or whatever you use to plan with and set a date like December 28th, just right after Christmas but before January 1st, to plan for Christmas next year. Okay, maybe put up 5 reminders. Set it like hourly on your phone to remind you you've got to plan for next year's Christmas, because you don't want to be surprised like we are this year. I mean, it's not that we're like really surprised per se, it's just that you get busy with your mom life and your schedule gets filled up with doctor's appointments and school activities, and maybe you have a dog like me, and so you got vet appointments, you got all kinds of things that you got to do, and you always think in your head, I'm going to get to that, I'm going to get to that, and then you never do. And you always have a plan as a procrastinator somewhere like right back in here, but it never really gets like to the front of your mind, right? And then you're like, it's December 1st and I still don't have a plan. Okay, so maybe that's where you're at, and we're going to try to fix that today. So let's determine right now that we're not going to do that to ourselves next year. If you don't have a planner, go ahead and use Google Calendar. Okay, you have a YouTube account probably, or you wouldn't be here. So get your Google out, sign in, click on the calendar, and set some reminders up. If you don't like using Google Calendar, maybe you're an Apple person. I don't know what Apple uses, but they gotta have something. Okay, so set yourself some reminders on your phone or something. Now that brings me to this funny meme I saw the other day on Apple. It said Adam and Eve were the first 2 Apple users to not read the terms and conditions, and I thought that was so funny. So I'm not really an Apple person. My son kind of likes Apple stuff, and I have a lot of friends that like Apple stuff, but I just can't really get over how much it costs to be an Apple person. So I'm just not up there on the Apple plane. I'm way down here on the Android level. Okay, so moving on. Now that we have our reminders set, we need to look at our finances. Okay, if you don't budget, you might be kind of surprised what you're going to find. But just make a list, okay? Put your rent or your mortgage, put your electric bill, all those things. Hopefully you have some due dates for the month and you already know what you've got to pay. Then you take your income amount that's coming in, you subtract all of that, and you see what's left, okay? If you have any money left, you might want to take a portion of that, set it aside for savings, and the rest of it you can use for your Christmas budget. Now, I've already done that step. We are planning on spending $350 or less on our Christmas budget this year. Now, I've already spent $47.50 out of that. We don't put gas in there. We just try to make it work with our current gas budget, or maybe increase it a little bit. This month we're going to increase it a little bit because we're probably going to be visiting a lot of people further away from our house than normal years. Like maybe some of my husband's family, which is a couple hours from where we live, and things like that. For the food budget, I do have to increase that. So my family has a lot of allergy problems and stuff, so we don't forego socialization around food. We just have to bring our own food with us. So I usually try to make it kind of match and be a little fancier, like maybe black bean gluten-free brownies or something for my kids that can't have that, or for myself, things like that I don't normally eat anyway on a daily basis. So we put that in our food budget. But for the actual gifting, wrapping paper, decorating, all that kind of stuff, we're going to try to stick with $350 or less. So now that you have your number that you got to work with, if it's not high enough, you might want to consider selling some of your stuff. This way you can make room for your gifts that are going to be coming in, and you can earn some money for gifting to other people. I used Mercari, and I just sold some Littlest Pet Shop stuff on there in 2 minutes. It was super fast, and that was super cool. I have more stuff on there, and it hasn't sold yet, so hopefully it will. But if it doesn't, it's not a big deal, because I already kind of have my money set aside. But if you need the money, go on there, check it out. It's real easy. Shipping through FedEx was super easy. I like that option. Check it out. The other thing is Poshmark. You can put clothes on Poshmark. Typically higher end clothes do better on Poshmark, and then everything else goes on Mercari. And whatever I sell is great for me, and whatever I don't sell, I'm going to donate that to Goodwill for a tax write-off, or maybe something else. We have a home in our area that is for people that are coming off drugs, whether it's medically induced opioid addiction, or if it was just street drugs or alcoholism or whatever. And whatever they sell at that shop helps pay for the housing for these people that are going through the program. And it is based through a local church. It's really cool. And so we might donate there. But regardless, the point is that I'm trying to make room for the new. You know what they say, out with the old, in with the new. And hopefully I'll have a lot less new than I have outgoing, because every item that you bring in your house requires a certain amount of time for you. So I'm not saying be a minimalist by any means. I'm just saying that be mindful that every item that you're getting and bringing in is going to require some time. You have to find something to do with that thing, and every time it's not in its place, you have to take that thing and put it back. Okay? So we have 2 steps of our plan so far, and that is set reminders and get our budget worked out. Third, you need to make a list of the people. Okay? There's so many people that I want to give to, and it's just not even reasonable or feasible for me to actually be able to do that. So make a list of the people you want to give to and prioritize that. So I have a thing at church I do. It's called Secret Sister, and I've already bought my gift for that. I just have to wrap it and wait for our sister swap. My kids have one with their youth choir called Secret Saint. They have not bought their gifts yet, and I've set aside $25 for each one of them to work with, and that's what they're going to get to use to buy their gifts. Their party's coming up, so their people are on my list. And then if you want to give to extended family or whatever, you can do that. We actually don't even give to our kids every year. I'll cover that in another video. But we do make a list of the people, we look at our budget, and then we prioritize the people. Some people might just get a card from us. Some people might get maybe a little extra something, maybe a handmade gift or something like that, but we try to keep it in our budget. I do not believe that you should be forced to go broke to prove that you love someone. Because if someone loves you back, they don't want you to be broke. That's not kind, That doesn't help anybody. Usually, if you love somebody, you want the very best for that person, so you don't want them to go broke. So that kind of brings me to a point that I had with a friend the other day, conversation, and I was just talking about how do you feel about this, because I saw a really good deal on it, and she was the first person I thought of. And I kind of wanted to know if Sheila would like it or not. I probably should have never asked her, because she said, please don't buy me something because then I'll feel bad. And I was like, girl, giving comes from your heart. And if you're giving just so you can get something back, then, you're not really giving. You're kind of bartering, And that's not the same thing as giving. And I don't want people to feel guilty when I give them something. In case you don't know, I'm a Christian. I pray about people and what I want to give them and stuff. So if the Lord lays it on my heart to give you something, I really want to do that, like for you. I don't want you to do something to impress me back or to make yourself feel better. I believe that it's such a blessing to give, especially when the Lord lays it on your heart, because then you're doing it for the Lord Himself. So please don't be guilt-tripped into giving just because somebody gave to you. All right, the next thing you need to do is plan the days that you're going to be out and about. Okay? So my kids have their party, I think it's on the 8th of December. So we have 7 days, give or take, to get that squared away. We got to find their gift in the right price range and wrap it. And I have to plan a meal or some sides or something so that we can eat at this party. I don't know when the secret sister swap is for the ladies group. So I got to find that out, and I got to write that down, because I got to make sure I block off my days. If you have family coming over, if you have a work party event or something, you need to plan those out. And you need to see if they conflict somewhere, then you're going to have to pick one, right? So if my kids all have the same party, but if I had 3 different kids going to 3 different places, I'd have to either tell somebody no or work out a ride, or our whole family would just be split all of these different ways. Now, personally, I think Christmas should be about family bonding and building relationships. So if there are too many things going on and they require our family to split apart, we actually just pick one and do one. Because we can't build family bonds and memories as well if we're all split up apart. Alright, so I hope that this will help you. If you kind of let it sneak up on you and you haven't come up with a plan, I hope that these steps will help encourage you to just take a minute and look at it all and plan it out. In high school, I had a teacher, and she had this thing in her classroom, and it said, if you fail to plan, then you can plan to fail. And I always thought, why would I plan to fail? Like, why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just go on in my blissful moments? Well, now that I'm older, I kind of understand what her thing was trying to say, but back then I would always say, well, if even the most well-laid plans go awry, why even try? But really, that's not the best way to live our lives. So try to plan it. That way nothing sneaks up on you, and you can gracefully decline invitations if you need to. You can write letters and cards to people that are not going to be making your actual giving list. That way they can still feel cherished and loved, but you spend less money on that. And you'll still be able to enjoy the season without being so stressed out. And if you've already planned all of this, then high five. I'm so glad. But here I am, and I'm not completely planned. But hey, at least I've done some of it. So I hope this video helped you. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I'm going to try to improve the quality content for you. If you do like it, please subscribe. I really appreciate your views and your time. Thanks. Bye.